Warriors stuff. Golden State Warriors, Houston Rockets, man. I moved to Texas in 2021, and the Rockets were a team that I got to watch go through their rebuild. They started it with Steven Silas. Was here when Jalen Green was the second overall pick, and Jabari Smith Jr. A year ago getting Amon Thompson. Um, what's my man, the center's name now? I'm drawing a blank on his name too. Uh
Shingun.
Shengun, Alperen Shengun. Man, that is a fun team, man. And the moves that they made, going from Steven Silas to Ime Udoka, they've drafted well over the years. Ime Udoka's really brought in that mentality, changed the culture around doing exactly what he did in Boston. Golden State, they made the trade for Jimmy, and right now, like, am I wrong to say like this is their last leg, right? Like
This
this is like
playoff.
the last iteration of them, like last chance to at least get Curry one more.
Yeah, it's the last hurrah. I think they probably got a couple years out of this group, but like you said, I think it's probably the last iteration of the group. And I think they said that. I think I've seen Draymond say like, "Oh yeah, this is probably our last run."
It's gonna be fun, man. The storylines of Steve Kerr versus Ime, you know, he was able to get one over him in the NBA Finals right before Ime was let go by the Celtics. I think we are going to what Ime Udoka was able to do for Jalen Brown in Boston. I think we're gonna see that with Jalen Green in Houston. We've already seen this transformation of Jalen Green since Ime's gotten over there. When he got over there, he brought in his own guys, the guys he wanted. We're not running what was going on here. And guys are going to be on shorter leashes. At different points in the last two seasons, Jalen Green was riding the bench. And then Jalen Green had to show more. He had to show that he was going to pick things up on defense, take smarter shots, rely less on his athleticism. And he's been able to show that. And you got a guy like Shengun who you can run your offense through. He's great in the post, really nice pick and roll. You've got an NBA champion over there in Fred Van Vliet, an enforcer in Dylan Brooks as well. I I'm gonna pick the Houston Rockets to win this in 6 games. And I almost wanted to say 7. I just think that youth plays a factor in here. I think that we're going to really see the changing of the guard a little bit with some of these younger players, specifically Jalen Green.
Yeah, I think this is gonna. I think I've said this a lot tonight, but this matchup again is gonna come down to defense versus offense. I think uh, Houston is a young team, obviously not really battle tested yet, so we're gonna have to see how they can kind of handle the playoffs and adjust to the playoffs in a different game. And we know how battle tested the Warriors are, and most of their group is. But the Warriors score a lot more points. They get them up, but the Rockets have a really good defense, and I think they played each other maybe 2 weeks ago, and they held Steph Curry to 3 points. That doesn't happen too often. I think Steph would be motivated to kind of show because when you go on ESPN or YouTube or anything right now, all the talk is how the Rockets held them to 2 points and how Ahmed Thompson is going to be this Curry stopper and all these type of things. So I think he hears it. I think he's going to be motivated to come out there and show that this guy's not going to be a Curry stopper, I guess. So it's going to be like a defensive offensive battle, and I think the Rockets are going to have to rely on their defense. With all that being said, I'm going to take the Warriors in 6. Go back. This goes back to kind of the point I was just making. If I'm the Warriors, I'd probably rather be on the road for this series. Veteran tested team. It's just a younger team you're going up against. They haven't really been here. The pressure's on them to win those 2 games because if they lose one of these games and have to go back to Golden State down, I mean tied 1-1, and have to try to get a win in that Chase Center. I know it's not the Oracle. It's different, but to try to
It's
get a
still
win,
loud in there though.
try to get a win. If it was the Oracle, I might pick the Warriors in 5. But anyway, that's not for them to go in there and try to get a win backs against the wall, this young team uh, will be difficult. So I think the Warriors starting on the road is actually perfect for them. But I'm gonna go Warriors and six. Uh, I just think the Rockets are too young, and I think with Jimmy Butler and Curry that they'll figure out this defense.